Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten here, bringing you a new cozy game review. Today's video is brought to you by the patrons over at Mystique Manor and by all the official fellow detective channel members. If you too would like to support the channel and gain access to exclusive features, check out patreon.com/wizardkitten to become a patron, or click join next to the subscribe button to become an official fellow detective. Very few games have managed to give me goosebumps, but I'm not exaggerating when I say that Call of the Sea managed it many times. This visually stunning, romantic, suspenseful, and story-rich game made me emotional and thoughtful, and I highly recommend it. But let's get into why. What follows is my spoiler-free review of Call of the Sea. Call of the Sea is a first-person adventure where players navigate through the world and story as Nora Everhart. As she entered adulthood, Nora began experiencing symptoms of a mysterious illness that left her frail and weakened and marked with mysterious blackish-gray spots, most prominently on her hands. After repeated doctor visits and no sign of improvement, Nora's beloved husband, Harry Everhart, decides to set out on an expedition to the Polynesian Islands, where he believes he can find a cure. The problem, though? Harry never returned. One day, Nora receives a package in the mail full of mysterious clues and beckoning her to the very same island in Polynesia that Harry visited with his expedition. The game follows Nora as she independently carries out her own expedition. Along the way, Nora discovers what happened to Harry and his fellow expedition members, while also discovering what could be happening in real time to herself. At its core, Call of the Sea is a story about love, sacrifice, and authenticity. The game explores what it means to be yourself, and whether or not sacrifices need to be made in order to live your truest life. The story beautifully details the depth of true love and the lengths that we may go to support those most dear to us. It even manages to handle the pain and difficulty associated with a debilitating illness with care and compassion. Nora's reaction to her illness is raw and real, while Harry's reactions as a caregiver capture the feelings of hopelessness and despair that are all too common when someone you love is suffering. The story is told through Nora's first-person reactions, her dreams and daydreams, notes and clues left behind by Harry and his expeditions, and environmental details and murals on the islands. Nora records all observations, whether her own or someone else's, in a journal to help keep things organized. While it is often difficult to do this without it feeling cheesy, Call of the Sea makes every moment count. Even parts of the story that do not relate to the overall mystery aid the story by building the characters and creating a deeper sense of empathy. It makes players want to find every single clue and journal entry. By the end, I felt so deeply invested in Nora's journey and the story that it felt like I was living it myself. The story is mature without being violent. The plot is intricate and detailed without being confusing. The adventure is thrilling without relying on jump scares, gore, or gruesome details. In short, this game can easily be enjoyed for its deep story and adventure, but is elevated by how seamlessly it explores some of life's most difficult decisions. Without a doubt, Call of the Sea is a 5-star story. As for characters, the story is primarily propelled through the insights of Nora and Harry, but the voices and perspectives of other characters enter the thrall as well. To avoid spoilers, I will simply say that the characters of Nora and Harry feel like some of the most fully fleshed and authentic characters I've ever met in a video game. Their relationship is loving and pure, but not without its challenges, and the emotion that the voice actors bring to their characters is absolutely exquisite. The voice acting in general is remarkable, and I can easily see all of the characters as real people. My only critique in this area is that the motivations of the characters beyond Nora and Harry could have been more clear, especially from the start of the game, through little hints. We know why Harry would risk his life on a dangerous expedition, but I would have loved to learn even more about the others. That being said, the characters of this game are still incredibly strong, earning a well-deserved 4 out of 5 stars. Next, if there's anything that could make me love this game more than the story, it's the environments and the art design. The word stunning was invented to describe this game. Every environment that Nora explores feels at once real and fantastical. The colors are bright and lush, effortlessly transporting players to a tropical island. The environments feel alive thanks to the exquisite lighting and the moving water. The levels of sunlight and moonlight change throughout the game, reflect on the water, pour through the canopies, and absolutely blew my mind. The water comes in many forms, from ocean waves to waterfalls, and makes the world feel dynamic. Some could potentially dismiss the design as cartoonish, but art design doesn't have to be hyper-realistic to be beautiful. Rather, the consistency, detail, color, and quality of the art design makes this one of the most gorgeous games I've ever played. I took so many screenshots and often would pause just to have Nora look around and admire the scenery. Without a doubt, the environments and art design get a solid 5 stars. The gameplay and puzzles also deserve significant praise. Players navigate around the world in a first-person view for the entirety of the game, which makes everything feel immersive and spectacular. Players can easily embody Nora, so the stakes feel higher, and every story note hits just that little bit harder. The navigation is also smooth and clear. The developers did a great job of designing the environments so the world feels massive, but it's always clear where players need to go and what they need to do. I never got lost, despite feeling like I could, and that's an amazing accomplishment. The game also makes expert use of a journal and notes system to help with puzzles. The UI guides players with built-in hints, so Nora can look at something, recognize its importance, and jot down a sketch or note in her journal. This simultaneously builds the story and alerts players to the information required to solve the puzzles. However, and this is important, the notes do not tell players how to solve the puzzles outright. There is exactly the right amount of challenge for the puzzles in this game. Players are given information, but you still need to explore fully, make logical decisions, engage in critical thinking, and put all the information together in your head to be successful. There were times that I got stuck and had to go back and forth attempting to figure out where I went wrong, but I never had to consult an outside walkthrough. Everything I needed was clear within the game, and with a little perseverance, all the pieces came together. The incredibly smooth navigation and UI, coupled with the feeling of success you experience when puzzles are just the right amount of difficulty, means that we have another 5-star category. Finally, the music and sound design. Once again, I was blown away. Part of the reason I got goosebumps so many times while playing this game was because of the way that music and sound was used to enhance the puzzles and the story. The background sound design is certainly nothing to scoff at either. Birdsong, crashing waves, crunching footsteps, wind, and more are all used for perfect dramatic effect. The music fits each moment and sets the scene marvelously, so we have yet another 5 out of 5 stars. For a final score, I've awarded Call of the Sea 5 out of 5 stars in the categories of story, environment and art design, gameplay and puzzles, and music and sound design, and 4 out of 5 stars in the category of characters. This means that we have a score of 49 out of 50, giving this game a very solid A grade and a hearty recommendation on my behalf. The game is currently listed for $19.99 on Steam, and I have invested 13.5 hours of gameplay across 2 full playthroughs. The game has multiple endings, so players are incentivized to play it more than once. While $20 may be a bit steep for roughly 6 hours of gameplay, I will say the quality justifies it for me. Even better if you can get the game on sale. Call of the Sea does explore some more complex themes, including chronic illness, madness, death, slavery, love, and loss. The game is rated T for teen, which I think is more than appropriate. As an educator, I would say this game is appropriate for teens and preteens. It is not scary or gory, and there are no in-game instances of violence, but the energy of the game is occasionally intense. All the more complex themes are handled thoughtfully, with consideration. Indeed, the way these themes are handled makes them easy to discuss and provides great context for learning and reflection. Finally, the game includes some light fantasy elements, but I would not say that it is a fantastical game. I genuinely appreciate how well the game balances reality with fantasy, sometimes blending the two to the point where we aren't always sure what is real and what is a dream. This makes Call of the Sea exciting and magical, but still concrete and relatable. So, do I recommend Call of the Sea? Unequivocally, yes. This game was moving, magical, fun, compelling, and well-deserving of its A grade. I absolutely loved it. If you really enjoyed this review, please consider hitting that like button or tipping me for the video with a super thanks next to the download button right beneath the video. If you would like to come join a fantastic group of fellow detectives at Mystique Manor as a patron for the channel, gain access to exclusive content, and support the making of more content like this, please check out patreon.com/wizardkitten. I also have channel memberships with exclusive badges and emojis to use during streams and in the comment section. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming an official fellow detective, click join next to the subscribe button. Please feel free to follow the channel on Instagram or Discord, linked in the description box down below. And as always, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Nancy Drew and Cozy Game content. Thank you so much for watching, fellow detectives. I will see you soon.